back to San Diego. The last, in fact, the only other Super Bowl to be held here was Super Bowl XXII 10 years ago. A painful anniversary for the Broncos because they lost that game to the Washington Redskins. But the NFL has to make the coin toss preparations long before they know which teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. And they invited former Redskins coach Joe Gibbs and the quarterback who tortured Denver fans that day, Doug Williams, to take part in the ceremony. Here it is.
Give us a little bit of room now, please. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the commemorative coin for Super Bowl 32. This is heads, this is tails. Heads and tails. Joe, will you please come forward and toss the coin? Captain White, please call the toss. Call it while it's in the air. He's called tails. It is tails. Green Bay has won the toss. Who is to accept, receive, or defend the goal? Receive, which goal? Let's change around then. Please put your backs to the goals you'll be defending. Green Bay has won the toss and will receive. Good luck, men.
So the Packers win the toss and they'll get the ball first. Marv, how important psychologically or otherwise is the first series?
It's very important. Even if you don't score, you establish a sense of rhythm. And even if you have to punt, if you've moved the ball a little bit, you've got good field position. You put your defense in a good spot.
Now, Kevin, we talk about how fired up Brett Favre gets for games. He has been known in the past to come out throwing balls so hard that nobody can catch them, let alone his own receivers.
Yeah, he starts off kind of erratic sometimes, he does. But you know what? He settles in there in the first part of the first quarter, settles in nicely and starts throwing the ball extremely hard, extremely accurate.
A quick word about the two coaches. They're both graduates of the San Francisco 49ers Bill Walsh system. How do they compare, Marv?
They're both excellent. They're bright men. They communicate well with their players. They're able to adjust well. They're super, and that's why they are in the Super Bowl.
Holmgren likes to script his first 15 or 20 plays. Is that something that helps Favre settle down?
You know, that scripting, I think, is there's a misconception on it. This is the type of play if it's 1st and 10, but this is the type of play, about 3 or 4 plays that they like to use in a variety of situations.
Well, that's the last comment from us. The talking is over from us for a little while. We're going to hand it over to NBC's commentators Dick Enberg, Phil Simms, and Paul McGuire.
Packers with 81 catches during the regular season, and Aaron Hayden are deep. Hayden, a former San Diego Charger, very familiar with these environs, and the dream of Super Bowl 32 begins with a short kick to the 5. Freeman skips to the 24 and is crushed under a wave of Bronco tacklers there. On the field comes Brett Favre, the league's most valuable player for the 3rd consecutive year, shared with the Lions' Barry Sanders. The men who will protect him are Verba, Taylor, Winters, Timmerman, and Dotson up front. In the backfield, Dorsey Levin's 4th in the league in rushing. Henderson is the blocker, Freeman the leading receiver. Brooks back from an injury a year ago, and Pro Bowl tight end Mark Chmura from the 24. Dorsey Levin finds a crease, but it closes in a hurry. Tyrone Braxton up to make the tackle from the secondary. Gain of maybe a yard, the defensive alignment for the Denver Broncos. A 4-3, Neil Smith and Alfred Williams on the outside. Traylor and Tanuvasa are the inside tackles. Mobley, a good young linebacker. Aldridge, Romanowski, the veteran. The linebacking core with Crockett and Gordon at the corners. Steve Atwater and Tyrone Braxton, the safeties. 2nd down, 9, and Brett Favre to throw. Under pressure, he's hit, stays on his feet, still gets the ball away, but he was not out of the pocket. No flag goes down. Favre did not get outside the pocket, and yet there was no flag. And here's Phil Simms accounting.
Well, there was a receiver out in the flat for Brett Favre. He was covered, so Brett Favre did the smart thing. He threw it over his head. That's the reason why it was not called a penalty.
Mike Shanahan thought he should have gotten the call.
Mobley coming on the blitz, untouched. His speed makes it happen.
Well, it gives you an idea how strong Favre is. Smith is there, Mobley is there, and Favre does the smart thing. He throws the ball away. Just remember, Dick, there's no such thing as in the grasp anymore.
Boy, he did a great job of loading 3 on charging Broncos. 3rd and 9, another blitz. Favre throws downfield, complete. 1st down at the 37 to Freeman. Steve Atwater makes a hit, and as he has done so many times the last 3 years, Favre on 3rd and long produces.
Well, he does the hardest thing there is to do in the Super Bowl, to hit that first pass down the field. Antonio Freeman wide open, a blitz by the Denver Broncos. They take a chance. Brett Favre stands in there, makes a good throw down the field.
Freeman doing a good job of holding on to the football on a vicious hit by the safety Atwater. First down at the Packer 38, a 13-yard throw. Levens, big hit. Levens bowls his way to midfield. 13 more for Levens.
I'll tell you, Verba and Taylor, 78 and 73, and Frank Winter in the center. Look at the blocking, man on man up front, and that's all they really want, is man on man blocking, and the hole was there.
The one thing the Green Bay Packers are going to do today, wherever that safety for the Broncos comes up, if he comes up to the right, they're going to run the ball left. If he comes left, they'll run right. They will not run at the extra defensive back.
Levens again runs left, has a hole, 5 yards, 10 yards, 12, and another first down. Darian Gordon from the secondary makes the tackle.
This is a classic example of what you just talked about. Atwater came up on the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the offense, and you'll see Atwater is down. He's not in the picture right now, but when they see him up, see Atwater there, now look how far he has to go to make the tackle, Phil. All the way across the field. They ran away from him.
The worst rushing defenses, Super Bowls, Denver Broncos. The others that had the worst record stopping the run all lost. Miami, Denver, and Minnesota. Levens. This time the defense of the Broncos a little tougher. Alan Aldridge makes the stop.
Well, Green Bay for offensive game plan, very simple. They got to handle the blitz and try to overpower the smaller defense, which they've been doing.
Well, we've seen both, Paul. They handle the blitz. Denver's defense, what they want to do is stop the short passing game of the Green Bay Packers, because what they do, they catch those short passes and they take off and get those long runs. I thought they would come out and be very conservative on defense. Took a couple chances early, got burned.
You saw Mike Holmgren looking at his card. Each coach scripts the first 15 plays. Throwing down the run, and what a throw and catch to Freeman. And another Green Bay first down at the 22. Gordon the tackler. They're on 13s. Boy, that is the number. Another 13-yard gain.
This is made by Brett Favre. He throws the ball to the outside. It's a blitz. People coming in. Antonio Freeman, what he did there was excellent. Took his time, got some separation from the defensive back. But watch Brett Favre. He throws through the defender. Somebody jumps. He drops his arm down to the side, finds that open hole, and throws the ball in it.
Incredibly, 13 yards. 3 times on this opening series, they've gained 13 as the NFC celebrates 13 in a row. The throw to Freeman. Is he in the end zone? Touchdown! Brett Favre, Antonio Freeman, they connected for 81 yards. A Super Bowl record a year ago. They strike early in Super Bowl 32.
Well, you take a look at Antonio Freeman here. Here's the ball. Look at his feet. Are they both down? They are both down. The official is right on it. Perfect call.
Ryan Longwell. Tough hold there, but he gets the ball down, and it's 7-0. Boy, Favre, what a job on the throw as he was being thrown backwards. Finds Freeman for the score. 22 yards, and the Packers are in the lead.
In the game.
76 yards and 8 plays. Favre to Freeman, 22 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos, who came close to stopping Favre early in that series, and then he broke loose on a series of 13-yard plays before the 22-yard score. Von Hebron is deep as John Elway awaits his opportunity. And the kickoff by Longwell. Von Hebron, the smallest man of the Broncos at 5'8". Finds a little hole, 30. And Hebron out to the 38-yard line into the 40. And 42 as he burrows his way. A terrific return. Elway will be on the field when we return. The Packers score on their first possession.
Off of Favre's front side. On this one, he lays the ball up with a man in his face. Beautiful job of getting his feet down, by the way. by Antonio Freeman. 7-0 Green Bay.
Strong.
Now, is there anybody on the sideline, Kevin, saying, oh no, here we go again?
No, absolutely not. Everybody's intense. Everybody's focused. They might be drawing something up on the board and saying, look, fellas, this is what they're doing. Okay, be aware of this. But other than that, everybody's tuned in. If they're really professional, they'll put that first series behind them and then start playing some football.
Marv, we didn't get the chance to mention it before the kickoff, but you were saying earlier that you thought one area where the Broncos do perhaps have an edge is on the return game.
Yes, I thought so, and they just had a good kickoff return now with Vaughn Hebron, which gives them good field position and a chance to get back in the game. And I agree with Kevin, you shuck off something like that this early in the game and go to work.
Absolutely. Good field position for the Denver Broncos. They have the ball on their own 42-yard line for their first possession of the game.
A quick out. He stutters. It's too late. Brett Favre anticipates, throws it back to the end zone. Touchdown. Great game planning by the Green Bay Packers.
And now the 37-year-old John Elway from his own 42. Terrell Davis, a San Diego native. And Davis across the 45, a gain of 4. Doug Evans and Eugene Robinson in the secondary for Green Bay make the tackle. The Broncos offensively, of course, their leader, Elway. No man in the history of the league has won more games regular season than John Elway. Zimmerman, Schlereth, Nalen going to the Pro Bowl. Habib and Jones, the lightest offensive line in the NFL. The backfield of Terrell Davis, second to Barry Sanders in rushing. Griffith the blocker. Rod Smith and McCaffrey are the wide receivers. Shannon Sharp caught more passes than any tight end in the league this year. 2nd and 6. Davis straight ahead close to the 50 where he's tackled by Reggie White and Santana Dotson. Reggie White on his way to his 12th consecutive Pro Bowl. He with Dotson, Gilbert Brown, the huge one, and Gabe Wilkins, the front four of Green Bay. The linebackers, Seth Joyner, the former Eagle, Bernardo Harris, and Brian Williams. The back four, Tyrone Williams and Doug Evans, and those two safeties, veterans, Eugene Robinson and Leroy Butler, as good as any pair in the league. 3rd and 2. The first down at the Green Bay 46-yard line. Eugene Robinson made the hit.
What a nice play by Terrell Davis. Now, John Elway's looking downfield. He doesn't see anybody right away, but Terrell Davis, nobody really covers him when he comes out of the backfield. And what you have to watch about Terrell Davis, watch after he catches the ball. He sees the first down marker. He knows he's got to get to it. He just goes upfield. Eugene Robinson can't stop it.
Good first play for the Denver Broncos. John Elway, that first throw's the hardest. They know it. They call that play right from the start. It's drop back toward Terrell. Let him pick up the couple yards for the first down.
A happy man is Davis, who played at Georgia after first beginning his career at Cal State Long Beach. Elway under pressure, scrambles, throws to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Davis again.
Well, the Denver offense today, they would love to run Terrell Davis, make Green Bay play him on us, because if you do that, they feel like they can get some good matchups, run some play action passes, and go down the field and get those big plays.
It's simply for the Green Bay Packer defense, it's just this. They got to get a better pass rush. If there is a weakness on Green Bay's team, it's their pass rush. That time, Elway, you saw him get out to the outside. They have to get a better rush.
So 2nd and 10. All 4 plays have gone to Terrell Davis on Denver's first possession. Under pressure, they smack it down. Gilbert Brown, the grave digger, the big defensive tackle in on the play.
Well, Gilbert Brown, he's not going to like shake you at the line of scrimmage and run around you, but what he can do, number 93 makes a good move, comes in on Mark Schlereth, just keeps pushing the pocket, and that's the quarterback's worst enemy, is a defensive lineman getting upfield and getting in your face and knocking the ball down.
Well, Schlereth actually does the right thing. He sits there, he waits, and Brown comes into his area. He went to block him, and I said went to.
Yeah.
Gilbert Brown, most of his plays come early in games, not late. He's been injured much of the year. So 3rd and 10 for Elway. Throws underneath, incomplete, and the flag flies. Willie Greene, the intended receiver. Darren Sharper may have been there too soon. Or was it Doug Evans?
Well, McCaffrey just got thrown to the ground. Whether it's holding, it's not pass interference, it's holding. They throw McCaffrey on the ground, and it's a 5-yard penalty, but it is a first down.
Automatic first down.
One thing that Denver really
before the pass was thrown, holding by the defense, number 33. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Doug Evans, and it's going to be on McCaffrey. Look at this. Now
well, Ed McCaffrey, what happened? He got Doug Evans thinking inside, and then when he broke back outside, Doug Evans was full. Puts his hands out and tackles him.
So the 3rd and 10, a 5-yard penalty gives Denver the first down at the 41. Green Bay 7, Denver nothing. Terrell Davis skipping outside. Another big one. He's to the 20. He's to the 14-yard line. 27 yards for Terrell Davis.
Paul, I don't know how many times you've said it. Great runners have one good thing. They have patience, and they set the blocks up. Terrell Davis inside. Goes inside again. Back outside for the 3rd time. That creates the big hole for him to run into.
Well, Howard Griffiths gets an outstanding block on Brian Williams, number 51. It enables Terrell Davis to get the outside. But the one thing I was going to talk about, Shanahan told us, Dick, just be patient. This is a long football game. Be very patient with your offense and defense.
Davis again. Stops, starts, makes something out of nothing, gets a couple of yards before Leroy Butler makes the tackle. Now, Terrell Davis, we were kidding during the championship game. He says, I take a hot bath every Saturday night. That's my superstition. And we kind of stretched it a bit and said, well, he takes a bubble bath. He said he's been getting all kinds of free gifts from ladies around the country, some free bubble bath.
Yeah.
He said, please don't do that. He said, I got 15 different kind of bubble baths. But he's changed now. You know what he's taking a bath in now?
Money.
Hundreds.
Hundreds,
He said, send hundreds. I'm going to take a bath in $100 bill.
He's just kidding, of course.
2nd down and 8 as Hepburn replaces Davis. Elway scrambles from the right. 10, 5, Elway to the 2. The old man who has scrambled well through his career, in fact, has rushed the ball more than any quarterback in NFL history, almost 740 times.
Well, John Elway, great protection by the offensive line. This is what they don't want. Green Bay doesn't want. Don't create these big lanes where he can step up, throw the ball, or run for those vital first downs.
You see Von Hepburn, number 22, the back. He goes out in the pass pattern. He doesn't do anything. So what does he do? He goes back and he blocks. Bernardo Harris.
1st and goal from the 2. Denver trying to tie it. 10-yard rush for Elway. To the goal line. No signal yet. Stuff right at that heavy line. He has to at least penetrate, just touch the nose to the front edge of that line, and did not.
You know, when a situation like this, Phil, when you're going to see Hepburn here when he dives, maybe in a situation, a Griffith blocking in front, if he can keep his body while he was going down, he was caught from behind. But that looked awfully close.
Well, Elway thought so. That much. 2nd and goal. 10th play of the drive. Terrell Davis is back in. The San Diego native has the first Denver touchdown.
Well, the Denver Broncos all week long, they've been hearing about how little their offensive line is and how big Green Bay's defensive line is. Well, I think we just saw that this line is quick, it has good size, and it's physical, and it did a terrific job on that drive.
And Davis has scored 15 rushing touchdowns in the regular season, has won in the Super Bowl, a 10-play drive, and took him 58 yards. He looked to try for point, and the game is tied at 7. The mile-high salute. Terrell Davis has the whole state of Colorado doing this. 7-all.
We're going to see them down the field 27 yards. You thought as a linebacker that one of the Green Bay linebackers was held.
With number 51 coming in from the right side, you saw that. I mean, he got smashed, and being a linebacker that I am, the refs just dropped the ball on that one. But this is what Denver needed to do. They needed to come back, fight fire with fire.
All right, so Terrell Davis has put the Broncos back level, 7 apiece. And you can imagine how important that is for him. He's a local San Diego boy, and earlier this week, he ignored Steely Dan's time older
At the 22-yard line. Derek Lovell made the tackle, and at special teams of the Broncos are fired.
17-yard return.
John Elway watches Terrell Davis plow up the middle to tie the game. Super Bowl 32 off to a dream start.
Line.
Instead of Gil Brandt are chatting online about the game. That's Superbowl.com. Reverse to Robert Brooks. Has a blocker. Pushed out of bounds at the 27-yard line. A gain of about 5. Ray Crockett and Ma'a Tanuvasa make the tackle.
Well, one of the reasons you come out and you run a reverse is you want to slow the defense down. The first drive they saw Denver's defense, it was fast, it was over pursuing, so you run this, you hope to get some yards, you hope for a big play, but the main thing is you want to make that defense play honest for the rest of the game.
And Derek Mays did a great job by not blocking in the back. He just got out of the way.
Favre 3 for 4 in the opening drive. Freeman 3 of those catches for 48 yards and the 22-yard touchdown. 5 plays over 11. Second down 5. Fake to Dorsey Lemmings. Throw downfield. Intercepted by Tyrone Braxton. And Denver has it at the 43-yard line.
The reason for the interception, the Denver Broncos come on a blitz. Brett Favre knows it cannot be picked up. Watch the corner come in. On the blitz, Brett Favre is going to move away from him. He goes to his right. He knows he has to get rid of it. The receiver is not open, causes the overthrow.
You saw Mike Holmgren arguing. He thought that the receiver, Robert Brooks, was held
By Ray Crockett. Ray Crockett grabbed his arm, but the ball was not catchable where it was thrown.
The first drive, the Denver Broncos blitzed 3 times. They were never picked up on any of the blitzes. Brett Favre made the plays. That time he just didn't.
From the 45, so the Broncos get the first turnover. That's atypical in play in the Super Bowl. And Terrell Davis ripping his way to the 29-yard line.
You know, Dick, all year long we're talking about Terrell Davis, and as Gibbs is the line coach, works with him also, and the offensive line say he only makes one cut, and once he makes that cut, he makes his decision to go. Watch the move.
Yeah, and Paul, this is the play Green Bay knows they have to stop. It's the cutback, even though it's the pitch. You think it's sweep right. Terrell takes it outside, always cuts backside. The backside of the defense has got to hustle, come down the line of scrimmage, and stop that play.
16 yards for Davis. He's gained 54 yards in this opening quarter. Goes down Elway, lots of time. Goes underneath, complete to Shannon Sharp, and Sharp near a first down at the 20.
This whole thing is the patience of John Elway. The offensive line blocking and Elway being patient.
Yeah, it's Elway being patient, but the offensive line, what a job they do, because this is supposed to be a quick throw. He's open. He fakes. He sees John Elway move. The offensive line keeps him out. It enables Shannon Sharp to come all the way across the formation and get open.
Well, you got a linebacker, Bernardo Harris, is trying to cover him, number 55, and that isn't happening.
Sharp caught 72 passes in the regular season to lead Denver. And Davis on 2nd and 1 easily picks up the first down at the Packard 17. Santana Dotson made the stop.
You know, Dick, all week long and all year long, this offensive line of the Denver Broncos, everybody said how small they are. They can't do this. They can't do that. You know, they went away to Kansas City and also to Pittsburgh only one time, and they had to do it on a silent count. Only one time did they have illegal motion. This team is together. Those 5 guys are together.
And they got tired of hearing it. Mike Shanahan even said to us with a laugh, he has been walking by them all week and going, hey, this is my tiny little group over here, giving them the business. You know, it had to fire them up a little, make them come out strong early.
First down. It's Howard Griffith, a rare call for the man they call the human plow, because he blocks for Terrell Davis, but Griffith trying to cross up. The Packers has a couple. Now, we talked about the weight distribution. The Broncos, well, in football terms, that's light. 289-pound average, lightest in the NFL. The Packers defensive line, that's very heavy for a front 4.
Yes, it is. And of course, what really offsets it, Gilbert Brown, the nose guard, 345. Well, you know, Paul, you sat next to him. I think he might be just a couple over.
I'll tell you, if he's closer to 370.
That might be a 100-pound difference between Neyland and Brown. Flag down, free play for Denver as Terrell Davis is whacked at the 11-yard line. It's George Kuntz in on that tackle.
Something we don't see enough from NFL quarterbacks, the snap count. We got two today that use it very well. They go quick, they go long. They use it in situations that really give their team an advantage. John Elway did it that time.
Offsides by the defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Darius Holland lined up at the defensive right end position, lurched offside.
You'll see him right at the bottom of the screen. You know the other thing that Elway told us? He said, what did it take the first time in 3 weeks and 2 games back? Yeah. He said, I've been able to use the snap count. Yeah. Doing silent count for 2 games.
Yeah, all week long he says he'd get in the huddle and go silent snap. He goes, no, I don't have to do that this week. I can actually call signals and play a normal game.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Green Bay scored first. Denver, after the interception, trying to take the lead. Second and short. Davis to the 6-yard line and a first down as Eugene Robinson, the veteran from Colgate, came up from the safety position to make the hit. Both these quarterbacks grew up in a football family. Both their fathers coaches, and Terrell Davis slow getting up. 62 yards rushing in the opening quarter, and Davis will be attended, closing out on a 7-7 tie opening quarter.
Terrell Davis slowing getting up. Let's hope that's not anything serious. That will be a terrible loss for the Broncos. And he had another big run there, but the thing that set up this drive, the interception, Marv.
The interception, big play, as I said. He will try to force the ball in there, Brett Favre, and it's been a long suit. Here we see a blitz coming from his backside and the front side, so he unloads. Looks to me like the intended receiver, Robert Brooks, was grabbed by a defender, but the official didn't see it. That's what counts.
So turnovers, we talked about them before the game as being a key. The first one goes to the Broncos, and they've started to pound the ball away on the ground, Kevin.
Absolutely. I mean, they're running the ball. That's exactly what they're doing. They're opening up the holes. Terrell Davis is starting to run the ball. They're starting to move Gilbert Brown off the ball. And here, Gabe Wilkins on the backside just misses the play, and then he misses another guy misses a tackle, and you got 15 yards. I mean, that's a very good run.
Picked up a first down on a penalty with John Elway changing his count.
Yes, Elway's done a masterful job of being in charge. He's gone on a quick count on that running game, not letting the Packers get set or dig in their cleats. And then just when he felt that they might be in tune with that, he delayed the count and they jumped offside. Big pickup.
And Elway, everybody talks about his age 37. On their first touchdown drive, he showed he can still scramble when he needs to.
He can still move. I don't know if that's the fear of God that they're putting into him, but he did move very well. First and goal to goal on the 2-yard line, they were able to hammer it in for 7.
There he is. There's Elway picking up the first down, going all the way down to the 2-yard line. Here he is.
Gets a nice little block, and then they just hammered 2 straight runs, and that made a statement right there. They ran it twice, back-to-back, and hammered in 7. That made a statement.
Aren't you supposed to slide when you're a quarterback at the age of 37 and avoid the hit?
That's another guy who's just a quarterback, you know, but he's got that linebacker mentality. He's got the heart of a lion.
Well, the Broncos have the ball for the second time in the game after that interception, and they have it with a first and goal on the Packers' 5-yard line as we go back to the action.
All right, thank you, Jim. A big, productive first quarter for Davis. First and goal from the 5. Hebron, the tailback. Hebron burrows for a couple to the 3-yard line. Santana Dotson, named after the Native American chief, Santana, and his dad, Alphonse, who played in the National Football League. In fact, was drafted by Green Bay in 1965. Terrell Davis back in.
This could be one of those scenarios. You know, you look at these teams, and Green Bay's watched Denver for 2 weeks on film, and they say, okay, we see the running game, and we think we can stop it, but when you see it in person, it's a lot different.
Davis, stop, second charge, gains a yard, and Dotson there to plug the hole. It'll be third and goal from the 2. With 31 seconds now remaining in the opening quarter.
Denver doesn't have to take a play, Dick. The play clock is going to run out before the scoreboard clock will run out before the play clock. They'll just go to the second quarter.
And Mike Shanahan very pleased that the first drive took over 5 minutes for a touchdown, with the interception consuming more time. Each team with only 2 possessions in the opening 15 minutes. Final seconds tick away. Favre against Elway. 7-7. You're watching Super Bowl 32 on NBC.
Welcome back to San Diego. It's 7 apiece at the start of the second quarter, but the first play of the second quarter will be 3rd down and 1 at the Packers 1 for the Broncos. Let's go to the action.
Will determine what they would do in this situation.
If they throw the ball incomplete, they're going to kick
a field goal.
Terrell Davis, the deep back. Green Bay has not allowed a touchdown pass in 32 quarters. Play action, wide open. Elway walks it in for the score.
Well, that tells you what Green Bay's defense was thinking. They were thinking, this team is running the ball. They're going to run it again in this situation. And they are completely fooled by the play fake of John Elway.
He could have thrown it to Griffith if he wanted to, but he just walked it in.
But he did the smart thing.
Yeah, keep it.
Keep it. Make sure if you throw it. I've seen him drop those type of passes.
Tom Ruin to move for Elam, and Elam adds the extra point. So after Tyrone Braxton's interception, the Broncos go 45 yards and 8 plays. John Elway, he's lost 3 of these Super Bowl games, makes it 14-7.
Well, 14-7 to the Broncos. The Packers had a great start to the first quarter, but the Broncos jumped out with that John Elway touchdown run. The sentimental favorite among many of the neutrals in the crowd. 14-7, and let's take a look at it. Coach, you called it.
Bootleg. I thought he might. It gives you the option to run or pass with a man who was a pretty good runner right there. Good call, good result.
You actually predicted it before it happened. Do you think the Packers were expecting Terrell Davis up the middle like they'd had him before?
Yes, they've been hammering the ball. They rushed for almost 80 yards in the first quarter. I think they were expecting it. The advantage was Denver there, because with a quarterback like Elway who can bootleg so well, you have him off balance.
Now, Kevin, we talked before the game about the weight difference between the light Broncos offensive line and the likes of huge Gilbert Brown, but you think they're doing a pretty good job on him?
I think they're coming off the ball very well on Green Bay's interior linemen. I mean, it's all about the heart you have in your chest. I know there's stats on weights and whatnot, but when you're playing in the game, you're playing with your heart, love, and passion, desire. Denver's coming off the ball and establishing a run. That's why they're winning the game.
Now, it's only the second quarter, but you think from looking down there that Gilbert Brown's already struggling for breath.
Yeah, while we're there changing sides during the half, the break there at the quarter, he had his hands on his hips, so you could see his head up in the air sucking some air, but I'm sure he didn't like to jog all the way down to the other end of the field.
And the best way to stop Brett Favre, keep him off the field.
That's right, and I mentioned what Denver needed to do to pull off an upset. Get a takeaway early, get a lead early, and win the kicking game, and their kickoff return did it. So that pattern, at least, is a long way to go, is taking shape.
Well, Brett Favre is going to get the ball back now. The Denver Broncos, leading 14-7, are about to kick off. The Packers will have the ball for the 3rd time in the game.
Tied for the club lead with 4 this year. His pick sets up the Denver score, 14-7. Elam sends it short this time to Freeman at the 8. A winning stop. And tackled as he crosses the 25-yard line.
Well, you got to have discipline down on the goal line. You got to make sure you cover both plays. Bernardo Harris, the linebacker, goes inside because the tight end, Shannon Sharp, blocks down. And now there's nobody on the outside for containment. John Elway's able to come out. Leroy Butler, hey, that's not his job. He's supposed to cover Shannon Sharp.
And you know, Bernardo Harris, Philip, what he's got to do is he went right down after Terrell Davis and forgot about everything else. There's the guy that made the interception. Yes, sir.
Played at Little North Dakota State, the Bison. Well, not so little. They were a 3-time National Division II champs. From the 28, far to the left, hit the backfield, and then the crowd develops and pushes him back to the 25, led by Alfred Williams and Tyrone Braxton.
Well, Alfred Williams, Dick, told us when he came in the meeting, all smiles, which he always does. He said, I'm not going to talk in this ball game. I didn't talk all week. I talked all year. I've got the biggest mouth going.
And that's going to be some accomplishment for him, not to talk during this game. Hey, he's a funny guy, and he is a great talker.
He is, and he's a great
He has
player.
the greatest laugh maybe in the league.
Yeah, big guy, and he is a great talker.
He is, and he's a great
He has
player.
the greatest laugh maybe in the league.
Yeah.
Big baritone laugh and likes to use it. No gain on first down for Green Bay. Tight end Jeff Thomason in motion. Far underneath, complete to Chamorro, one of his close friends. One of the three amigos, along with Frank Winters, Aldridge and Braxton, collaborate on the tackle. A gain of about 5. Chamorro played at Boston College for Tom Coughlin, Jacksonville head coach. Last drive was their first NFC turnover. NFC now in the Super Bowl in nearly people. Head coach. Last drive was their first NFC turnover. NFC now in the Super Bowl.
The play, Neil Smith gets the ball.
And a good job by Neil Smith. Just cover the ball. Don't take a chance by picking it up and maybe fumbling like Green Bay picking it back up.
So 2 Packer turnovers, and it's Denver's ball at the 33. Hebron, not Terrell Davis in the backfield. Elway. Ton of time. Man open, incomplete. Hebron, the halfback, had slipped deep.
Well, he wasn't open, Dick, really. Seth Joyner, a really cagey linebacker, been around a long time. He saw the play action fake inside. He just stayed back, and in fact, if John Elway throws it to the receiver that time, Seth Joyner's going to pick it off. Look to your left, or to the bottom of the screen, you're going to see Seth Joyner off to the fumble. Steve Atwater just coming in free. Again, every time they blitz, nobody has picked up that extra blitzer. That causes the fumble.
Hebron still in, so Davis resting on the sidelines. Hebron hitting 14-7, second and 10. And nothing there. Big Gilbert Brown losing his helmet in the process of helping on the tackle. Bernardo Harris there first.
Doesn't make any difference. With or without a helmet, Gilbert's going to play. His mother told him, quit limping out there, just play football. He loses his helmet on this play. There's Gilbert Brown, 93. Watch this. Nailing is on him. He got his hand up in his face. Watch his helmet come up. That is what you call putting hands to the face.
Tom Nalen had a chance to block him last year, and he says, well, okay, I'm going to block this guy. They played up in Green Bay. He's probably just another one of these big fat guys. He says the first time I hit him, I went, wow, he is strong. So he learned quick that Gilbert Brown is a good athlete.
So third down and 10. Elway shotgun for the first time. He goes long for Rod Smith. Incomplete. Broken up by Tyrone Williams. So an interesting choice for Shanahan. Does he try a long field goal?
They will.
Yes. Well, this time, John Elway, what happens? Rod Smith, good job. A little hesitation at the line of scrimmage. He is by Tyrone Williams. John Elway waits too long, and then he underthrows the pass.
That forces a long field goal attempt of 51 yards by Jason Elam. His longest this year, 53.
But if you look at the Green Bay Packers, all 11 men are up on the line of scrimmage.
If he misses, Green Bay gets it at the 41. It's high enough. Is it long enough? Yes!
You know, this is really the line blocker, but it's a three-man thing. It's the center, the holder, and the kicker, and Elam had enough time, and look, he gets the ball up quicker than anyone I've seen in a long time.
Steve Atwater forces the fumble. Denver 17-7.
Welcome back. 17-7 to Denver here at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. Let's go back to the kickoff.
Denver at the 10 is Antonio Freeman. And he's picked up at the 22-yard line by Dedrick Dodge, who has a Super Bowl ring with the San Francisco 49ers. Played at Florida State. John Elway saying Jason Elam kicked the second longest field goal in Super Bowl history, 51 yards. Steve Christie's 54-yarder in 94, the longest, the Buffalo kicker.
John doesn't get real excited because he knows he's got a lot of work to do yet.
Well, I think he just expected Jason to make that. He says, okay, he did what he's supposed to. Let's don't get too excited.
Favre with a fumble and an interception. That breaks a string. The last 3 Super Bowls, the NFC had 10 turnovers to 0 for the AFC teams. For 5 for 6 before Braxton and company can wrestle him down.
This is what you'd expect the Green Bay Packers offense to do. Come out, try to settle down, and just come straight off the blocks, come straight ahead, use some power. Good block by William Henderson, the fullback, and let their big runner be powerful. This way, you keep that defense of Denver's a little honest, and you don't have to worry about those blitzes.
Well, as the NFC has dominated, no turnovers by the AFC to 10 for the NFC the last 3. But Denver starting out with 2, a fumble and an interception. Evans picking his way to the 31, 32, just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Isn't that what Holmgren told us, though, the other day, Dick? We sat there talking to him, and he says, what we have to do, my job really is to calm these guys down. Just be patient. Just wait. Because all the things that we've done all year long will work if we're patient enough to do them.
He wasn't calm when we saw him back in August when they played up in Toronto in the preseason, was he?
I've never seen anybody. He said, you know, I think I'm driving them nuts. I think I'm driving them crazy.
You know what? He did.
Yeah, no, he
did. All the players were complaining, you know, coach is crazy.
Well, he did not want his Green Bay Packers to be complacent after winning the Super Bowl, and he took it out hardest on his assistant coaches.
You know, great. Dick, that's what he said. I drove my coaches harder this year to make sure we gave our players a chance to repeat. Let's don't get beat because the coaches have a lack of preparation. They accomplished that all year long. The record, the way they play, it shows they're very prepared.
What a coaching start for him in high school in San Francisco. His first 3 years, his teams were 0-22. That start all the way to a Super Bowl ring as a head coach in Green Bay.
Yeah, but he reminded you right off the bat, I wasn't the head coach.
No, just assistant. Well, that's important. You saw it's about a half-yard shy of a first down. 3rd down. The 304-pound trailer from Central State of Oklahoma. He has been their best lineman all year.
Keith Traylor, what the Denver defense does, they rely on speed. They try to beat you to the point of attack. Number 94, just coming down the line of scrimmage. Dorsey Levens doesn't even have a chance to cut back. Keith Traylor, big and very athletic.
Craig Hendrick with the first punt of Super Bowl 32. Darian Gordon returned 3 for touchdowns during the season, waves off his teammates, and it's downed. A short kick just inside the Bronco 40 at the 39. 31-yard punt. So Denver has it back, leading by 10 with 10 minutes and change remaining in the half.
Well, turnovers in his previous 3 Super Bowls. Brett Favre coming into this one, 0.
That's why Elway's team is
concussion apparently is expected to return. Is that going to affect Mike Shanahan's play calling, do you think?
I don't think so. I think he'll be ready to play. Yeah.
Well, the Broncos have the ball back now at their own 39-yard line.
Forging into a 10-point lead and have the ball back. First down, they're averaging over 6 a play, and they're throwing to Shannon Sharp. And to the 45-yard line, a gain of 6. Randy Cross is with us. Randy?
Thank you, Dick. You know, up until that last pass, Shannon Sharp was lined up on the right side the whole time. Denver's got the momentum. They've got the running game going on. But as you see, Shannon Sharp's pass routes come out here with 1 catch. He's only lining up on the right. When they're passing their best, he's all over the field. Back to you, Dick.
All right, Randy knows the Super Bowl feeling with the San Francisco 49ers. Shannon now with 2 catches for 15 yards. 2nd and 4, Elway. Out of the backfield, complete to Sharp again. Little yardage, only a couple. Well covered by Bernardo Harris, 3rd-year backer from North Carolina.
But what Shannon Sharp really does well, this is his favorite route. Coming across the formations, trying to go underneath some of the coverage, and hoping his guy, this time Bernardo Harris, hoping he gets in the way of another defensive player, creates an opening for him.
You got to really like what the Denver Broncos are doing too, Dick. They're controlling the clock and the ball. You know, everything, no drop passes, first downs. They were averaging 3 yards per play on first down.
You saw Sharp, the leading tight end receiver in the 90s in the NFL. Derek Lovell is the ball carrier, and he has the first down at the 50. So Lovell, who came up with a 100-yard game in reserve of Terrell Davis in that first playoff win for Denver against Jacksonville, he is now the tailback. It's interesting, Mike Shanahan, as he talked with us this week, that one of his pitches to his team was, you know, we win at Kansas City, a tough crowd. We win at Pittsburgh, and now we get to play Green Bay on a neutral field. Now, where do you think we've got our best chance?
Yes, it's a great psychological.
Illegal formation by the offense. Number 65, an ineligible number, was on the end of the line. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So Gary Zimmerman uncovered, cost the Broncos 5 and cost them a first down.
Well, what happened? Ed McCaffrey, here's Gary Zimmerman. Ed McCaffrey is up on the top of the screen. He's off the line of scrimmage. He does not have the tackle covered. That is illegal.
So the penalty is called against Zimmerman, but the mistake was made not by him, but by his wide receiver.
Well, you know what happens? When in doubt, just blame the lineman. So that's what happens.
That always works.
Yes.
So instead of first down, it's third and a long 6 for Elway. Hebron, his running back. Blitz. Throws to Hebron. Brian Williams saves the first down with a good open field tackle. Williams from the University of Southern California.
Well, they got what they wanted. Denver wanted the blitz. They were expecting the blitz. They throw the pass. But the problem is Brian Williams, he's fast, he's big, comes out. He knows they have about 8 yards to go. He just makes a good, sure tackle.
Now they come up with 4th and 1, and Tom Ruin's first punt. He's not kicked as well in the postseason as the regular season when he averaged over 43. Robert Brooks, after a devastating knee injury a year ago, returning and having a solid season for the Packers and being used in the playoffs in this situation, returning punts. Ruin's kick very high. Beautiful spiral. Brooks lets it go. Takes a Denver bounce. And another one, and is down at the 3-yard line. Dedrick Dodge will mark it at the 4. 7:38 left in the opening half.
Have to start out on their own 5-yard line.
Play heads up all the time.
Even if he saw it, don't get so close to the ball. You never know where it's going to bounce.
Denver with a 5-minute plus possession advantage. As far from his end zone looking, and thrown underneath incomplete. No flag. As Henderson, the intended receiver, and veteran Bill Romanowski there to break it up.
The one thing this Denver defense, they have noticed Green Bay does to most teams. They love to come out. They put a lot of receivers short, and when nobody's open, Brett Favre looks underneath for that open receiver. Denver always tries to cover those short underneath receivers because they play a lot of man-to-man coverage.
Romanowski, who has never missed a game in 10 years, 160 regular season, now his 19th playoff, 2 rings with the 49ers, his first 2 years in the league. John Ulysses Mobley, number 51, the brilliant young linebacker from Kutztown State, makes the hit.
Watch the trailer Tanabasa. They do a deal inside, and Mobley is in the middle. 51. Watch, you see the 2 tackles curl inside. Bam! Here's Mobley. That's his job. Step up, make the play. No gain.
Paul, they're trying to create a hole for John Mobley to run through because he has the speed to get there. That time, Green Bay has nobody to block him because he made that move inside.
You see Mobley nearly doubling his tackles in his second year and led Denver with 162. Far from his end zone, throwing deep downfield, complete. His tight end at the 35, Martin Shimura. Picked at the 26-yard line as Shimura leaping high to spear that, and again Favre at his best on 3rd and long.
Well, Mark Shimura is going up the seam. They're trying to hit him between 2 defenders. A very risky throw by Brett Favre. One-hand catch by Mark Shimura. He's pretty well covered. Bill Romanowski, the one mistake he makes, turn around, look for the ball. You'd have a chance to knock it down.
Favre with a big 3rd down conversion on the opening possession. across the 40-yard line. May have had too many men on the field for the Broncos.
Well, they only have 12.
So that'll be declined. Green Bay taking Levin's solid run worth about 15.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the field by the defense. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
John Mobley is trying to get off the field before the ball is snapped, and you can see him coming off. He just never gets off.
So with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in this opening half, you see Glenn Robinson, the defensive coordinator, upset by that call, but 15-yard gain by Levins anyway. From the 41. Levins. Another solid gain out to the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3. Mike Lotus, the veteran tackle, makes the stop.
Well, a good play by the Green Bay Packers this time. They kind of get the action. You think it's going to go left, and he cuts back. And what it does, it just kind of creates a little hole, because that Denver defense, they like to slant right and left, try to cut back sometimes on it.
Breakthrough year for Levins, who matriculated at Notre Dame and then transferred to Georgia Tech. He was just a special teamer when he was picked in the 5th round back in '94, has developed into the 4th leading rusher in the league. 58 yards today. The throw to Brooks complete. And Brooks hit at the 50, trying to nose forward close to a first down at the Denver 49. Aldridge and Crockett, the tacklers. Crockett, who will be a free agent at the end of this season. Played at Detroit for many years, came over to the Broncos in '94. He played his college ball at Baylor.
Well, we got a close situation here, Dick. Come on, Paul, hurry.
Nose of the ball.
Nose of the ball. They made it, right? Is that what you're saying?
They made it. Nose of the ball.
Nose
of the ball.
It's half of the ball.
Well, the half a nose. It's a real big nose. It's a ball with a huge nose.
For those of you who don't watch us during the regular season, Paul is, in the history of the National Football League, by far, from off the field, the best judge of whether on close calls a team has a first down or not. He's never missed.
And he does it with one eye. That's what's
right.
really impressive.
In one eye, Dick.
First down at the 49. Freeman in motion. Favre drilling that ball, just throwing on the run to the 45-yard line, a gain of 4. Here's Randy.
Thank you, Dick. You know, so far this year, the 3-time MVP Favre, he kills people with improvisational skill. That means getting all over the field in the pocket. Well, so far, Brett has only been in the pocket. Blitz or no blitz, this Denver defense is containing Brett Favre inside and not letting him get out where he can kill him. Back to you.
All right, Randy. Antonio Freeman with that catch at the 43-yard line. It's 2nd down and 4. Also a Favre fumble when hit by Steve Atwater in the mix. Denver lead 17-7. Closing in on 4 minutes remaining in the half. Favre underneath, completes to Henderson, and he's hit immediately by Bill Romanowski. And Henderson gets up slowly.
That time, Brett Favre changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Bill Romanowski on Mark Chmura down the field. They let him go. Brett Favre, not patient enough this time, drops it off to William Henderson for the short gain. If he'd have stayed with the tight end, he had a big play.
That was an outstanding play by Romanowski. I mean, he lets him go, and he knows in the back that Henderson is his, so he goes up and takes him.
3rd and 2. And Favre to throw. And what a catch by Freeman just as he was hit by Atwater. And Antonio Freeman has 5 catches in this first half, and every time he's caught the ball, he's been drilled and hangs on.
You know, Phil, we're looking at receivers. I mean, Antonio Freeman is catching everything out there. He is getting smacked. He's been hit by Atwater. He's been hit by everybody, and the guy holds on to the ball.
Freeman from Virginia Tech. This is the first drive. He had 3 catches. And eventually 22 yards for the Green Bay touchdown.
He's a big receiver. He plays tough. Paul, he does this every week, making those tough catches over the middle and outside.
Favre deflected and almost intercepted as Derek Mays, the intended receiver, Ray Crockett, made the defensive play. Green Bay fans looking for a penalty.
Well, Ray Crockett has Derek Mays Man for man on the outside. Right away, Derek Mays does the wrong thing for the quarterback. He goes right to the sideline, gives Brett Favre nowhere to throw the football. He does try to come back underneath Ray Crockett to make the play, but there's no place to throw it.
And there's not going to be any flag. It would have been on Mays first for pushing off, and then they let Crockett push off afterwards.
2:40 left in the half. 2nd and 10. Down into the flat. Is Mark Chmura. And he's to the 21-yard line before tackled. Appears to be another first down. 11 on the play.
Boy, Chmura on this play here, they're just looking for Favre. He makes a fake, and they're looking downfield. Play action, boom, and Chmura is wide open on the outside. He just finds him. Nobody covered him.
Third catch for Chmura. 6'5" and 253.
Let me tell you, this guy, Dick, Brett Favre and Frank Winters pick on him unmercifully. They always make fun of something he's doing.
And there's the 2-minute warning. First half, 17-7. First quarter, and then kicked in the helmet, suffered a mild concussion, heads for the locker room. 2 minutes to go from the 21. Favre on first down, looking deep. Down the middle, complete and a flag down. Interference against Ray Crockett, against Robert Brooks. And that'll give Green Bay the ball very close to the goal line.
I'll tell you, the officials are talking this over. You know why? Because Crockett's feet get tied up inside. This may not be pass interference. They're telling Denver, back off. Let's talk about this thing. Because one of the officials from the side didn't see anything happen. It was the one in the end zone that saw it.
Ed Hockley in the white hat is a trial lawyer, law firm in Phoenix, so he knows all about listening to the case.
The feet were inadvertently tangled, so there is no foul on the play. 2nd down.
That will make folks in Titletown very happy.
Well, Ray Crockett is in good position to cover Robert Brooks on the outside. You can see it. Watch him come across the middle. A little holding. He has him. The feet, they get tangled. As Ed Hockley said, inadvertently, that is not a penalty.
This is not. Watch the feet. Don't look at anything else but the feet. He's not touching with any part of the body. They're just playing football. That is an outstanding call to see the officials overrule it.
If there was any foul, it was before he made his break, holding on to the jersey. But that's become so commonplace, it's rarely called. 2nd down, 10 at the 21. Quick throw complete. It's to Terry Mickens, who had only 1 catch all year. So that just shows you the complete nature of the game planning by coaches. Here's someone you don't figure will be involved, and Mickens gets a chance. Crockett made the tackle.
Yeah, Mickens is going back and saying, Mickens said, don't throw that one to me anymore. He almost got killed going in there.
Maybe that's why he only had 1. Maybe it was the other time he caught that one, didn't return for a while. So timeout called with the ball at the 15-yard line. No, clock is running.
Brett Favre's going to let it run down, then call the timeout. Use up as much time as possible just so he doesn't leave it for Denver.
So long as you're going to call timeout, let's not give the other team a chance to get the ball should we score.
Well, it's 3rd down, and you want to really make sure of this play.
And it is 3rd down and 4.
It's a 30-second timeout.
And a reminder, tonight, stay tuned to NBC after the Super Bowl.
They're here, leggy invaders from Venus on a mission of seduction.
Hope you're enjoying the Super Bowl live on Channel 4. 1:09 left in the first half. The Broncos lead the Packers 17-7. But as I said before, the Packers putting together their best drive since their opening drive, and they are threatening in Denver territory. Can they get in before halftime and cut the Denver lead to 3? We're about to put together their best drive since their opening drive, and they are threatening in Denver territory. Can they get in before halftime and cut the Denver lead to 3? We're about to find out.
Kick the field goal. Now you limit the chances somewhat of Denver by taking some of that time off the clock.
And really, it's 3rd down, Dick. You don't want to rush in. They want to come away with a score. What Phil was just talking about. So you've got to be very sure of the play you're going to call.
Favre comes out with 4 wides. And now Hockley, the referee, going to officially mark the ball. Oh, Mickens and Freeman to the right. Mays and Brooks to the left. Levens, the running back. They often like to run out of this formation. And do. Levens breaking tackles to the 10-yard line and has the first down.
Now they still have 2 timeouts remaining. He's going to take one now, Favre.
With 7 seconds left on the clock. 63 yards rushing in the half for Dorsey Levens.
Good change up by the Green Bay Packers. 3rd and 4 or 5. They've been getting hurt by the blitz this time. They have the trap right up the middle, and Dorsey Levens has to make a couple of those extra yards just to get the first down. But a good job by Green Bay on this drive of controlling situations. That's the reason why they moved it all the way down the field, not getting in those 3rd longs where they can get hurt by a blitz.
You know, with 57 seconds remaining in this second quarter, they still have 1 timeout. They can still run the ball now on this play. They can run it.
So mass up.